Hey, everyone.
I'm Darren.
I'm Mike, and we are
The Froze Bros. Holy shit, Mike is back.
I'm back.
Mike is here. We got him.
I'm chilly. I'm thawing out still.
I got him in a few blankets, but we got him back.
Yeah, he's got one of those like Mylar blankets that you give to people who have hypothermia.
He did not get cremated. He did not get turned into a cartoon character.
Why would you think I was cremated? I was frozen.
Because I sent you away. I sent you away to Disney World and said, give you the Walt Disney treatment.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you listened to your own podcast, you would know this.
Right. But was he cryogenically frozen?
I thought he was frozen. But then I learned some people say he was cremated. So I didn't know what the fuck happened to you.
Yeah, no. So they just do whatever they did to Walt Disney. And like Walt Disney, I'm now back roaming the earth.
You're back. Walt Disney is alive.
Walt Disney's also there, yeah.
Then we are going to get him on this pod.
We should get him on the pod.
We're going to have an interview with Disney.
I think he had some views that we might not agree with, but...
Maybe some of our listeners agree with them. Who knows?
That's fair. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. On the way back,
it is nice to have you back.
So. Oh, thank you. On the way back, I stopped over in a couple of places.
So you took a little bit of a vacation.
Vacation.
Nice.
I was in Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong.
Because that's on the way from Florida to Boston.
Yeah, there's really not another good way to get here.
Right.
So yeah, had some good times over there. A lot of good food.
Anything frozen?
Some frozen stuff. I mean, the big things in Thailand, they do a lot of fresh fruit smoothies. Mm-hmm. So, I had some of those. I was a little bit worried because, you have to be careful with the water over there. And so they take a bunch of ice and some fruit and they blend it all together. But luckily I was safe.
That's good.
That's all I can think of. That might be my only frozen event.
Yeah, you were away for a few weeks and I learned that I don't hate you as much as I thought I did.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
Missed you a little bit.
Yeah, no, I miss you too. It's good to be home. But what else? Oh, we had, what was funny? At our hotel in Thailand, there was an ice cream place out front called like Damn Good Ice Cream or something.
Damn Good Ice Cream.
And I look it up and I look at the sign and it says incorporated in Boston.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently these two guys met in college in the U.S. So they were both Thai and they really liked ice cream in New England. Okay. And decided to try to recreate that in Thailand.
So does New England have the world's best ice cream?
I think it's confirmed, yeah. Everyone's trying to copy us.
Yeah.
It is good ice cream over here.
My favorite's here. I think I've mentioned it on the pod, Arethusa in Litchfield, Connecticut.
Indeed. Yeah, I think I've mentioned that before.
There's some good ice cream in Boston, too.
There was another frozen thing that I was trying to think of, but I can't think of it. But it'll come back. It's the thawing process.
Okay, yeah. You're still getting thawed out. I lived in Manhattan a while ago. There was a restaurant on the Upper West Side on Broadway, I think, called Dan Japanese Noodles. And my wife, probably not my wife at the time, we walked by there and just say, Dan Japanese Noodles. we went there a couple times. It was a good place. I don't know if it's there or not anymore. So if you're in New York and you know or knew of Dan Japanese Noodles, let us know.
Yeah.
Have you had anything frozen more recently? Anything new in the freezer? Anything good?
Had a couple good things recently. I know we've discussed Trader Joe's and their kind of downfall in our eyes.
Yeah, they've done some bad things. They do some good things. They've done some bad things.
Yeah. But I think this was already in my freezer from before. I don't know that for a fact, but we had the General Tso's frozen chicken dinner, and I gotta say, I really liked it.
I will admit, even after Trader Joe's fell out of favor, I went back there once more to grab a few things.
A last hurrah.
Yeah.
That was the last time.
The one that I like in Allston, in Boston, has a great wine and beer and alcohol section. There's some really good wines at some good prices. Got some of those. I also picked up TJ's Gnocchi di Sorrentino.
Okay. You had good experience with another one of their gnocchis, so you went back to the well.
Yeah, I've tried a different gnocchi from there. This one was with in a tomato and basil sauce. It was really good.
Nice.
Really good.
We can't even talk shit about Trader Joe's properly without also making it seem like we love Trader Joe's. But this is it. This is the last time.
We maybe need a Trader Joe's episode, like maybe even just a short episode to talk about our conflicted feelings.
Sure, that's a good idea.
About them.
Yeah. Maybe we can see if we can find some competing products, some Trader Joe's replacements.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, but we can check.
They can't be at Aldi or Whole Foods either.
Yeah, Stop and Shop and Shaw's and Star Market.
They seem to be on the okay list.
They were on the okay list.
Yeah.
Oh, what we're talking about, have you mentioned this article on the pod before?
No, I haven't.
But yeah, an article about, the leanings of certain, of these grocery stores and trying to be a little bit more conscious about our shopping.
Yeah, we'll get into this another time. I also had I like vegetable fries.
Okay.
I got bird's eye shoestring zucchini fries.
Zucchini fries.
Mm-hmm. These were too shoestring.
Too thin, huh?
Too thin. And they just, I threw them in the air fryer. I'm having a problem with FR.
Yeah, well,
I threw them in the air fryer.
There you go. Now that is perfect.
Yes. They just became crisp little sticks like the potato sticks you buy in a can.
Yeah. I mean, some people like those.
There's nothing wrong with them, but
there's nothing wrong with them.
But that's not what I wanted from this. I wanted to be able to tell that there was some zucchini in there.
Sure.
I have actually had better.
So are they breaded or do they have some kind of coating?
They're barely breaded.
But they have like a
little
light
bit
coating.
Of breading. Yeah, light coating. I have had much better ones from, and we're still not sure of our standing here with this company and this person, but I've had some much better ones from Green Giant.
Well, let's just keep the Green Giant talk to the minimum.
We're working that out. It seems to be, we had a rocky road. We seem to be getting better. He sent you a nice birthday message.
Yeah, that's true. I feel really good about that.
But still a gag order about how much we can say about that litigation.
Yeah.
But Green Giant, I really do like your zucchini fries much better. And
nice.
Send me some. Send me some, please.
This is not frozen, but I bought a rutabaga recently.
A rutabaga?
Yeah, and I want to just chop that up and toss it in the air fryer and make some fries out of it. And that's pretty potato adjacent, so
yeah, that sounds good.
It's less calorie dense, so that's like a little nutritionist tip is to use rutabaga.
I think one last thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about how I never made mac and cheese, and then I made mac and cheese, and I made so much more mac and cheese that I could ever eat.
Classic, yeah.
I froze some. I finally took it out of the freezer.
Okay.
This past week.
Go?
It was still really good. I let it defrost just in the refrigerator for several hours rather than just I didn't think putting it from freezer to microwave would do well. I thought that would just probably water it down.
Yeah.
Just letting it defrost and then heating it up in the microwave, it was almost as good as it was to start with.
That's a good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the problem is like the cheese and the oil will separate a little bit, so you get a little bit of oiliness to it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know, but you get some separation. But, maybe that slow warm up is the way to go.
Yeah, the slow defrost.
Nice. Yeah, my other thing, I had an Impossible beef yesterday.
Impossible.
How could this possibly be any good? But I will say, it was very satisfying. We did a taco night. We did a vegetarian taco night. We did plant-spired chicken. That's the name brand. Plant-spired. Plant-spired. That was okay. That was fine. I didn't have anything against it. And a little tofu. But then I did some like taco meat out of the Impossible beef. So you season it a little bit, make it a little spicy.
Huh?
And I got to say, while it doesn't, totally replicate beef. I mean, I'm sure this is, Impossible meets old news. People don't need to hear about the comparison. But what it really reminded me of was Taco Bell ground beef.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. Which I think Taco Bell has like a bunch of soy in it. It's like It's certainly not all beef. They have a bunch of soy protein in there as well, so maybe it is a good comparison. But yeah, because I like Taco Bell, I was really enjoying those tacos.
I kind of like Taco Bell when I go, but I don't go too often.
Yeah. Well, they're hard to get to. There are just not that many of them around here.
There's a good one in Brighton. It's the Cantina, actually, where they're
that's a recent addition.
They're even open late, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
and they have beer and wine.
That's a 1 or 2 a.m. Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some Taco Bell. I went to a Cantina. It was the one in Brookline, and had some Taco Bell with an IPA. I think it was just like a Harpoon IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a really good combination. I can recommend it.
I had a vegetarian night last night too, actually.
Oh, really?
And I'm not much of a vegetarian, but
I've never known you to eat vegetables.
I had beer and fries for dinner.
Okay.
So that was my vegetarian night.
Were they the zucchini fries?
No. This was out at a bar.
Okay.
Where I was playing trivia.
Nice. Those are great fries. I know the place you're talking about.
Those are good fries.
Great fries.
I wasn't that hungry, so I just ordered a basket of fries.
Nice. I think those fries have a coating on them.
They do.
Right?
They put something on those.
Yeah. I saw somebody post recently, it might have been like in the Boston or Massachusetts subreddit. Somebody was like, I love this style of fries. Like, where can I get these fries? Or like, a place that I like closed. Where can I get these? And it was pretty divisive, actually. Some people were like, fuck coated fries. Those are the worst. And
a lot
of people that like
love them.
Yeah.
Honestly. But
this particular place shall not be named.
Yeah.
They're quite good.
Yeah.
I like a coated fry. I don't have a problem with it.
We're not protecting them. I just don't want to give them the publicity.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. It's a good spot for trivia. I'll say
it is. I've done a quesadilla there a few times too.
Is a quesadilla good?
It is good.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good.
Try that.
And I also do that vegetarian. I don't get any meat added, and it's really good. They've got a good guac and they've got a good salsa.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they have good food.
They do.
And
they do.
They have good trivia.
And it's I'll go a little further in the identifying. It's an Irish bar, and
that could be anything.
And there's so many of those that I'm not narrowing it down that much. Narrowing it down?
Narrowing.
Someone had corned beef and cabbage meal, which they're still serving all night. We're recording this during the week of St. Patrick's Day. It's coming out on the 1st of April.
It was a Monday, so people are still, they're still celebrating.
It looked good, but the corned beef and cabbage here in the Boston area is sort of grayish brown. They apparently don't add something, nitrates or something that is in most of the other corned beef that you buy in the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Where it is red and a little more appetizing in color.
Yeah, gray is our favorite color.
Gray. Boiled meat should be gray.
It should be gray, exactly.
The Irish just don't want to be happy about about anything.
It's the more authentic version. I have to say, I made a corned beef. I went to my local butcher. I got just the corned beef. Nothing, no packets, not already marinated.
Okay.
And it turned out terrible. It just
really?
wasn't good. Yeah. I did a method. I just, I didn't have time to do, like a lot of recipes are like an 8-day marinade. And I bought it a day ahead of time. So I didn't have time for that. And I found this recipe that was like, braise it in the oven with some garlic and onions on top. I still braised it for like 8 hours, but it was kind of tough, kind of tasteless.
Did you boil or you roasted?
Braised.
Braised. You just said that. Yeah. I made one too.
Uh-huh.
Last minute decision.
Okay.
On Monday, on St. Patrick's Day, I went to Market Basket. Okay. I mentioned this to you earlier. I went to Market Basket in Somerville.
Just the craziest market. You got to elbow people away.
It was crazy. Yeah. Any day or time, it's crazy there. I bought the one in the package with the seasoning packet, came home, dropped it in boiling water for 3-4 hours, then dropped in some potatoes and carrots. It was okay. It was pretty good.
It was fine.
I actually want to try one roasted.
Sure.
I was afraid it would dry out, but then I realized there's so much fat on this cut of meat.
There's a ton of fat.
It cannot possibly dry out.
Yeah. Mine was just tough. I think I didn't cook it. I said 8 hours. I think it was less than that. And I think it didn't, they say that the cartilage has to break down or something like that.
Did you have cabbage?
We had a cabbage soup.
Okay.
But yeah, it was still a fun time.
I don't really like cabbage. I'm okay with cabbage, like in some certain things, but just to eat like a wedge of cabbage.
A wedge of cabbage?
I'm not
like a wedge salad, but it's just cabbage?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it served this way in some corned beef and cabbage. You just get a wedge of the cabbage.
They don't know what they're doing. And even the boiled
it's
cabbage
Irish
is a little
cuisine,
sad. Yeah.
So yes, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, the cabbage soup my girlfriend made, it was actually quite tasty.
In
fact, I said that was the best part of the meal because I'd already ruined the corned beef.
Sure. So you had sort of Irish Asian fusion.
Yeah. I think the soup wasn't really Asian-y style.
It was just a cabbage soup.
Yeah.
It could have been like an Eastern European cabbage soup.
It was more Eastern European.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also made mashed potatoes from potato flakes because I spent all my time on this corned beef. I didn't have time for anything else.
I bought real potatoes actually and boiled.
Nice.
So
did you mash them or just eat a potato?
No. Just boiled potatoes.
Stick a fork in it.
Yeah, you cut them up a
eat
little
it
bit.
Off the fork.
Yeah, you sort of quarter or maybe eighth them so it's smaller pieces so they'll boil faster. But
God.
I use real potatoes.
Just like in the pot with all.
Yeah, I like the red skin potatoes with corned beef for some reason.
Sure, yeah, it just feels right.
Yeah,
we don't know why.
It does.
It's in our blood.
You're part Irish too?
Oh yeah.
I knew this, I think.
I'm sure we've talked about it.
Absolutely. I know we both know we're part Italian.
Indeed. Aunt Josephine.
Love
ya. Anyway.
I've got some frozen food news.
Let's hear it. What's the news?
Not a lot. This won't take up a lot of time. We've talked some recalls in the past.
Wait. Can we do a little Ricola?
Ricola. Nicola's Ricola.
No, it was Nicola, not for recalls. Sorry, Nicola. I've appropriated your call for recalls.
If you've got frozen meals from Lean Cuisine or Stouffer's, which are pretty popular names, and both owned by Nestle, because let's face it, Nestle owns the world's food, you need to check for some recalls. If Max were here, he would just read this for the next 2 hours.
And we would love it.
There's a Lean Cuisine butternut squash ravioli, Lean Cuisine spinach artichoke ravioli, Lean Cuisine lemon garlic shrimp stir fry, Stouffer's party-sized chicken lasagna. I'm just hoping you didn't buy that to start with. But those are the main.
That sounds fine. Didn't we eat a Stouffer's lasagna? Or it was not Stouffer's?
Party-sized chicken lasagna?
Sounds good.
Chicken lasagna? Really?
Yeah, sounds good.
Have you had chicken in a lasagna? I never in my life have I had chicken in a lasagna.
I have not had it, but it just sounds good.
If there's a meat in my lasagna, I want it to be beef.
Mm-hmm.
Ground beef, not chicken, not turkey. I wonder if this is
not pork.
Ground chicken.
What about pork? Pork sounds good.
Pork works.
Okay.
Quail.
Yeah, we're in agreement.
Quail might work.
Quail would be fine.
This might be a ground chicken. I'm not going to look into it. That might be better. I was just thinking of like chicken strips.
That sounds good too.
Okay. Never mind. All right. Lean Cuisine and Stouffer's. Check for your recalls. I've also talked about the chicken pucks.
Chicken pucks, yeah.
The chicken pucks.
Rondelets?
Not the rondelets. Like the ones that are filled.
Oh, right. The fried
like I got the cordon bleu. I got the ones I didn't like filled with a lobster and scallop stuffing.
Right.
Those were made by a company named Barber Foods.
Barber, sure.
Barber apparently is owned by Tyson.
Okay.
Which just owns
the number
also
one
owns a lot of
chicken
everything.
Producer.
Yeah, they might be. They're fighting.
No, we talked about this.
They're fighting with Purdue for who's number one, right?
Yeah. Oh, we had Purdue, and they said they were number one, but Tyson was like 3 higher on the list.
Yeah, but anyway, Tyson is just rebranding those Barber chicken pucks, filled chicken pucks, as Tyson.
Okay.
So if you like those things, they're going to be under the name of Tyson now, and not Barber.
Good to know. I was reading, so I'm a BJ's attender. I go to BJ's.
Mike gives BJ's.
I attend BJ's. But I was looking at a list of reasons, these are the products you go to BJ's for. And one of them was one of these little chicken pucks. So I'm going to have to try those at some point. I don't know what brand.
Look for Tyson. The Barber ones have been pretty good, but don't go with the too weird stuff. Get the cordon bleu, maybe a chicken Kiev, which I think is like a cream and spinach filling.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds great. All right. Well, that's what we've been eating.
That's what we've been eating. That is some news.
Little news.
I got a little bit of a non-frozen food news.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This falls in with our ho-hos, froze before hose. Hostess has a few new flavor cupcakes for spring.
Oh, that's fun.
A few other new products. Maybe we try some of these. Maybe we freeze them. There's a key lime cupcake.
Wow.
A sundae
that
flavor.
Like that would be good.
Sundae, Sundae flavor.
That just reminded me of the other thing I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
So there's an Asian ice cream place called Mixue. It's Mixue. And I got a super boba sundae there. I think I mentioned this to you before.
You did tell me this about it.
But yeah, it's just like, it's known for being a very cheap soft serve place. So you can get, in Malaysia, 1 ringgit for a sundae. So that's like 25 cents. Or not a sundae, just for an ice cream cone. But the sundae was like 4 ringgit or something. And yeah, it's basically just a vanilla soft serve, chocolate sauce, boba pearls on top. It was very nice, especially for the price.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you find yourself in an area, I think most of Asia has these stores, so give it a shot.
Yeah, we need to go try some boba tea or something together again to see if boba repulses me as much as it did that first time.
I don't know that we need to experience this again.
It was the super sweet brown sugar
already.
It was the sweetness. I don't know if I would hate the boba pearls themselves as much without that super sickening sweetness.
You might like a professionally made one. You can also, at most boba places these days, you can set the sweetness level. So you can say regular, light, or whatever. They have a few different levels. So that would be helpful. In any case, I interrupted you in the middle. You had gotten to...
Hostess cupcakes. I was talking about some important stuff about Hostess cupcakes. Yeah, sundae, key lime, orange creme. They do spell it CREME. And I thought there was already a Hostess orange cupcake. Yeah. But they've got this orange
But that sounds
creme.
Good. I like an orange creme.
Orange creme is popular right now. Coke is doing an orange
Oh, I've been meaning to try that. Yeah.
Yeah. We should make an ice cream float.
That's a really good idea. Yeah.
With that.
Absolutely.
Maybe 2 ways, with vanilla ice cream and also with orange sherbet.
Yeah, why not? Let's give it a try.
And final thing in the news, there are temporarily strawberry Twinkies.
I don't feel the need to run out and try.
I'm not a Twinkie fan. I'm not a strawberry. I like strawberry. Strawberry makes me break out, but I have no concern that this is real strawberry whatsoever.
You mean break out in song and dance?
Yes, I do.
But ever since we did the October Twinkies, were those? Oh no, those were Hostess.
Did
we do both?
Our Hostess is Twinkies. Hostess is our
Did we do Twinkies, or was it the cupcakes that were like pumpkin pie?
We did
spice
flavored. We did pumpkin Twinkies and cupcakes.
We did both.
The pumpkin flavor was bad.
It was
the
bad.
Cupcakes and Twinkies.
Like, I actually kind of like a regular Twinkie, but ever since then, like, I just don't want a Twinkie thing.
I might not have had a Twinkie in 40 years, so maybe we need to try a Twinkie sometime.
Okay, well, if it has to be done. Actually, that reminded me of one other thing I had in Asia that was interesting. This is at least somewhat related. It was an iced coffee, but I saw this at a bunch of places. It was an iced coffee with orange juice and coffee mixed together.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
And it was kind of like, what's the Guinness and what do they call that? It's not a half and half.
I know what you mean.
It's Guinness on top and like a light beer on the bottom. It was like that. So it was orange on the bottom and coffee on top. And it was kind of gross. I had it iced.
Okay.
And it was served a lot of places, but it just, I didn't find it to be good. I think if I had added some cream, so I just had it like straight. If I'd added some cream and you got like this orange cream flavor, like orange cream is good. And a little sugar, I think it could be good, but maybe I just didn't do it right.
Last episode, Max was just talking about the chocolate orange candy. And I said, I don't like the
ones
chocolate.
that are like orange slices.
Yeah, I don't like the chocolate orange combo either.
Yeah. I haven't typically been a fruit and chocolate person, but I feel like I'm warming up to it.
I like chocolate and cherry.
So, I don't know, maybe someday
Maybe
this will be okay. A little orange and chocolate. I don't know.
Chocolate and durian.
Chocolate and durian. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're already a durian fan. We got to get you to get some fresh durian.
Yeah, I do need it. I did not hate that. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. I did try some also on this trip, tried some fresh durian. Really good. Malaysia has the best durian. So
I've got one bit of news more that we've talked about this a little bit, but I think I'm ready to admit it.
Okay, please do.
Last episode, Max and I did the Frozepocalypse draft, choosing which frozen foods we would choose in the zombie apocalypse. I realized that I did not take that seriously enough.
Yeah.
This is a real thing that could be happening. This absolutely could be a real thing. I am swearing off frozen food as we know it, and I'm moving to freeze-dried food.
Wow.
We're doing all freeze-dried food, and that is what we're going to review tonight.
Wow, freeze-dried food. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of tricked you into this a little bit. We're going to have some frozen chili, but it is freeze-dried.
Wow. You know what? I'm a little upset, but we'll have to see what it tastes like. Because I can't be too upset until I know what it tastes like.
All right, we got to give this a shot because I'm truly into this now. I'm serious about this.
Okay.
So let's take a little bit of a break. Let's make this freeze-dried chili, and then we'll come back and give it our review.
All right.
All right, buddy?
We're taking a break. And we're back.
We are back.
We've just eaten some Mountain House chili mac with beef.
Yes, the brand name is Mountain House. This is freeze-dried chili with beef.
Chili mac with beef.
Chili mac with beef. Yeah, there's a mac, like a mac and cheese noodle in there, a little elbow noodle.
Yeah.
Right?
And usually I read the subtitle, so it's chili mac with beef and then spicy sauce with macaroni, beef, and beans.
So.
Also established in 1969.
69, baby.
It was the
I got my first real six string.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did you learn how to play it?
No, because I was far too young.
Okay, good.
Barely alive.
Yeah. But yeah, a little Mountain House chili cheese mac. Wait, no cheese. No cheese. Specifically no cheese.
No cheese. No cheese. Chili mac with beef.
I just always think, when you say mac, I automatically think cheese. It just, the two things,
this is
the
not
two
a
words
mac and cheese.
belong together. But this is not a mac and cheese.
No.
And it makes sense.
This is chili. It's got beans.
So you got this from an REI.
An REI. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about REI also.
Please talk about REI.
I knew, I've never been a camper before. Anyone who's listened to this pod knows I've not been a camper. I'm not a prepper, but I've just had a complete change of heart. And this is the life I need to start to lead. And went to an REI in West Hartford, Connecticut.
That's probably a good one.
A very good one. Trying to say that with a straight face because it's very not a camping town. It is,
but it's a wealthy town.
It is probably one of the wealthiest communities in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, no. You got
up there.
Your
but yeah,
Greenwich in your in Hartford County. Certainly, it's I think one of the more wealthy.
It's got to be
wealthier communities. I just knew it as a camping store.
Yeah.
I just knew REI had camping stuff, like an LL Bean or some other place.
Yeah, it's a little different than that.
It is. I did not realize this.
Yeah.
It is a co-op.
Yeah.
If you give them $30, you are a member for life.
Yeah.
They told me all about this. I did not become a member right away because I was in a kind of a hurry when I picked this up.
Like, give me my freeze-dried chili mac.
I want to go back.
Crazy, man.
I want to go back. I want to see what they have. There's lots of camping gear. There's lots of outdoor gear.
They have gear.
Yeah, they have a huge selection of freeze-dried food, camping gear, outdoor gear, bike link gear.
Yeah, my girlfriend's brother got a bike from there. Nice quality.
Yeah. And there are benefits for co-op members, discounts. You can buy slightly used things at a really good discount.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They have a Cambridge store, sort of a small space store, a small footprint that is going to close because this model didn't work. It was focused on just like urban walking and biking stuff. But most of their stores are pretty large.
Yeah.
And I did not get the name of the associate who helped me out at the REI in West Hartford, but they were really, really helpful, told me all about the program.
Nice.
I'm going to go back there and learn more. Yeah, I really am, actually.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that you're into this prepping and, survival, you're going to, I mean, this could be a really good find for you.
Yeah. So I'm going to live in a basement in Cambridge.
I mean, that's not really what they're prepared for. I mean, the freeze-dried foods are going to be good, but, this is for outdoors, not indoor.
Well, I'm in a city, I'm in a major city, a major metropolitan area. So I don't know. Can I camp out on Boston Common?
I guess you could. You could throw a cot in the basement and put a sleeping bag in there. That'd be fine.
Maybe I just sort of rent out a storage space and sleep there.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of options for you for urban camping.
All right. Yeah. I need to learn all about this. So anyone, if listeners, if you know about this, if you know about urban camping, being an urban survivalist, an urban prepper, this is what I need to do.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with being an urban prepper is typically you associate preppers with bunkers, and it's hard to build a bunker when you live in an apartment,
So do I need to give up my 9th floor apartment?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to build a bunker, bunkers are underground, I think. They're at least partially underground.
My Tri-City view?
Yeah, you might have to give that up.
Yeah.
But
what if I spend days up here in the apartment and I just go to sleep in the storage space in the basement at night?
I mean, that could be workable as long as the storage space is nuclear bomb proof, then you should be fine.
And if I only cook down there, with a hot pot and boiling water,
get a little Bunsen burner and
okay,
just get your freeze-dried foods and your bucket of water. I mean, the bucket of water has to be kind of drug from the sewers, right? But then you'll have to
the sewers of Cambridge.
Oh yeah. And you can boil it, get all the bacteria out.
All right. So let's talk about this food.
Let's talk about Mountain House Chili Mac.
Mountain House.
Also, wait, I want to shout out. So when Darren first mentioned this to me, and I was like, "Oh, Mountain House, that's a great brand." I was thinking of the Chinese restaurant. There's one in New York. There's one in Boston. I think it started in New York. But yeah, really good. I believe Sichuan Chinese food.
Well, we need to go check that out. If I am allowed to go to restaurants in my new lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to educate me on that.
Okay.
I can't really tell you what to do, but I think it's allowed until the apocalypse happens.
Okay.
Whatever free income you have that's not being spent on freeze-dried food and bunker making.
Okay.
Is allowed.
Yeah. So let's go check it out. It's a good looking package though.
It's a nice looking package.
It's got a picture of the food on the front.
Yeah.
And honestly, I did not expect the food to look anything like that.
But it looks like that.
It does. It was a little saucier.
It's more saucy than they show in the picture. But the sauce is good.
It was good.
We're not talking about sauce. We're talking about the packaging.
Okay, talking about package. It comes in a soft package that you rip open.
Mm-hmm. It's intended for throwing in your backpack when you're going on a hike.
Yeah, it's lightweight.
Yeah, it's very lightweight, and that's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little, their symbol is a little mountain in the upper left-hand corner. There's no house.
This is a company from Oregon.
Albany, Oregon.
I did not look up this company before purchasing it, but I've gotten into this habit the last few days. I did look up REI. They are a super liberal company.
It's surprising. Shocking. Yeah, the co-op is, super liberal, and that's good. We love it. I can only imagine that this company is in the same vein.
Probably, yeah.
They're in Oregon. They're outdoorsy. I don't know. We'll look it up.
But not all preppers are in the same vein, so you never know.
That's true, but
you never know.
I don't think preppers are the main thing for main customer for this. I think these are more oriented towards outdoorsy hikers.
Okay.
And like on their little thing on the back, they talk about, this is the meal that you can have at the end of a long hiking day. So I think that's their target market, and they're in an REI. I'm sure there's preppers that go to REI, but I don't know how many, because that's like
okay. These are my people now.
These are also your people.
All right. This was pretty easy to make too.
I mean, it can hardly get easier.
Rip open the package, pour in boiling water, and wait.
Yeah,
you
also have to stir.
Yeah, you stir, you wait. You close, you open the package again, you stir, you wait a little bit more again.
They're into the stirring.
Yeah.
Packaging wise, anything else to say about the packaging? It's white. It's got the picture of the food.
Yeah, I got a picture
red,
of the
white,
package.
and blue
we'll post that.
Theming, which is nice.
Is it red or is it orange? It's orange red. Red?
I guess you're right. It's not like a pure red. It is a little orangey. Okay. Price? Cost?
This was $12.
Shit. What?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if somebody gave me one of these if I went to get some lunch. They're like, here, fill this with some hot water. But this is special preparation. This is for a special purpose.
Yes.
This isn't just getting lunch on a Tuesday.
Yeah. And this actually was one of the cheaper freeze-dried meals.
Really? Wow.
They ranged from about 12 to 15.
Okay. All right. Like I said, this is a special purpose. When you're hiking, if you've done any overnight hikes, you've got a big bag, you've got your camping equipment, you've got your clothes, you've got food and whatever else you need, a shovel, toilet paper. Those of you that have done this, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess you need to bring your own toilet paper.
You need to bring your own toilet paper if you're into these things. You need a shovel for a hole.
Because you need a shovel.
You need a small shovel. Yeah. It doesn't need to be a big shovel. But, I mean, technically you probably don't need a shovel, but it's a lot easier to dig a hole with a shovel.
What are you doing in the hole?
You gotta poop in the hole.
You poop in the hole?
Yeah, this is a small hole. I mean, depending on your accuracy.
Okay. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about this now. So
no, you're going to have to get familiar with this process.
So this isn't just like that time I pooped on Cambridge Commons.
No, that you don't need any aim for that. You can just poop anywhere on the commons, and that's like a very common thing to do. But
common thing to do. Yeah.
But no. When you're in nature, you want to keep things tidy because
So you dig the hole and then you fill it in again,
and you poop in it. You dig the hole, you poop in it, then you cover it up.
That's insane. Animals don't do that, right? Or do they?
That's a fair point, but we're trying to minimize our impact on the area, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if it's an apocalypse, you probably don't have to worry about it so much.
Yeah, if it's really the Frozepocalypse and there are zombies coming after us, we're not going to wait to dig the hole, right? We're just going to...
Well, I assume that you're going when there's no zombies around, so you have like a little relaxation time.
A bro's got to go when a bro's got to go.
That's true. But if there's a zombie chasing after you, you're probably just shitting your pants, right?
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I would.
Yeah,
for sure.
So if you got to go, you're not only not going to stop to dig the hole, you're just not going to stop at all.
If you have time to like take your pants down, you probably have time to dig a small hole.
I think I could run and let my pants down. So maybe the zombie slips.
Yeah.
On
the
yeah.
Yeah, and the slip trap that you left for. Yeah, I mean, that's a good strategy. I don't think that zombie, fiction authors have really explored that as much as they should have.
This needs to happen.
Anyway, the cost is reasonable for what you get. In fact, we were just going over the ingredients, and it's an impressive ingredient.
We have just recently started considering ingredients. Actually, several times we've talked about ingredients, but we haven't really considered them in our scoring until maybe a couple episodes ago when Zatarain's had 40 or 50 items in the...
It's too many things, Zatarain's.
Yeah.
We don't need 40 things.
Yeah, you want like 5, but if you're like under 20...
You're doing good.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm skipping over some things because they explain what's in the macaroni, but I'm just going to skip over that for simplicity. There's enriched macaroni, beef, seasoning, kidney beans, cornstarch, and tomato paste.
Mm-hmm.
Now they go into a little more detail. The beef is beef, rosemary extract, and salt. The seasoning is chili, pepper, sugar, garlic, salt, malt extract. And that's all good stuff to know.
Yeah.
This is a very simple ingredients list.
It's
really nice.
Yeah. Is there any particular preservative in there?
No, I don't think so. Just the freeze drying process.
And
a little salt.
Mike, can you tell our listeners until what date this package is good until? Is it on there what you have, or did I?
Yeah, I've got that here. It's best by August 2054.
August 20th. Oh, okay. No, just August, the month. August 2054.
And the year 2054. August 20th. On that day, then it's deadly. After August 20th.
You got 30 years to eat this.
Yeah, it's a good amount of time.
Yeah. 29, I suppose. But that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'll finish it by then.
Well, we did finish this one.
Yeah, that's true.
We finished the whole thing, too, as a matter of fact.
We ate it all. I was just eating this and chatting with you and just having a perfectly good time eating it.
It was better than I expected. I have not had any freeze-dried food like this before.
Yeah, just what they have at the Smithsonian. That's your previous
exactly. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, the freeze-dried Astronaut ice cream, that's all I've had.
Yeah, okay.
This was surprisingly good.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like I said, I was just eating away like it was a normal dinner. I kind of forgot to think about it like critically, but then, I did take a break. I did think about it critically. And the flavors are there. The quality is there.
Yeah, we let it sit for at least as long as it's supposed to. Possibly a little bit longer first time. It's a little bit crunchy. Not all of it. Once in a while, you get a little bit of a tougher piece of meat or pasta.
Yeah, which is why I assume they're so into the stirring. They're like, stir it around, then stir it again.
The beans were really quite good.
The beans taste like, they just taste like a normal bean.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. I've already been a little bit farty today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done an overnight hike before, and we brought these things with us. Now, I don't know if it was this brand, but I also remember those having like some crunchy bits in it. And I think, that textural variance actually helps. I don't actually find it to be a bad thing that you get a little bit of crunch in your pasta, because it's not like it's a raw pasta. No. It's just like got a little bit of crunch to it, and it's kind of nice, like almost like I feel like saying eating a potato chip makes it sound bad because it shouldn't be like eating a potato chip, but it's kind of in that vein.
None of mine was that crunchy.
Yeah, it's not that crunchy, but it's like
a little bit more
kind of satisfying in that way where you get a nice little crunch.
I much prefer that than anything overdone and mushy.
Yeah, if these were mushy noodles, which is what you would probably expect, it would be sad.
And actually, a lot of your normally frozen foods,
pastas,
you're gonna get more likely mushy.
More likely than not.
Yeah. So Even better reason to go with freeze-dried.
Yeah. Should we just keep freeze-dried foods around instead of frozen foods?
Maybe.
I guess the price is the thing.
It is more expensive.
It's a little more expensive.
Yeah, because we could have gotten, this was a package that says it was a meal for two. I think that even if one of us had eaten this alone, we'd probably still be a little bit hungry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's 2 servings per container. Each serving is 230 calories. If I'm hiking all day, I'm going to need more than 460 calories.
Exactly. You're going to need 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm probably having one of these and then like a handful of nuts and a handful of beef jerky or something.
Yeah. So if I'm running from zombies and then I'm stopping to boil water, I need to have one of these every 3 hours or so.
Yeah. So that's going to be a real,
yeah,
that's going to be a problem for your survival rate.
Whereas we could get a similar portion in frozen food for half or less than half the price.
So what is the actual, I guess the weight doesn't tell you as much. It's really what you have to know is the calories, but weight is 3.8 ounces. So this is a quarter of a pound of food, but it's got no water in it. But yeah, 460 calories is just, we normally work on like a 2,000 calorie a day diet, right? So this is,
okay,
right? I mean, that's generally what we're shooting for, roughly around there.
I'm not a nutritionist.
Yeah, we should get one on the show.
We absolutely should.
But we're talking about like a quarter of that. This is not even, if you're having 3 meals, this is not just one of those meals. It has a part of a meal.
The taste and texture were pretty good. We've talked texture a little bit already.
Yeah, but the taste is good.
It is good. It's so much better than I expected.
No, I wouldn't, if I did have these hanging around and I was like, I just need to have a quick dinner, I could see myself being like a little bit excited even to have one of these. I'd be like, oh, nice. It's a good time to break out one of these freeze-dried.
I would do this too if they were like half the cost.
Yeah. It's these nice whole ingredients that they have that's probably holding them back.
Because for $12, I could buy 2 or 3 single meals in the frozen section. Yeah.
Or in fresh ingredients. We're talking like 2 pounds of pasta and a cup.
Oh, yeah.
How much is
for $12?
How much is beef? Like a pound and a half of beef and a can of tomato. You could make a full meal with this.
A pound of pasta,
like for a family.
A pound of ground beef.
Yeah.
Sauce, beans. I could eat for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's not meant to be economical. They're not making these at scale, right? They're not making these to feed millions of people. This is for a specialized.
Yeah. And you can't carry all of that food with you if you're hiking or you're running you're hiding.
Yeah. And you know what? Those things aren't going to last until 2054.
Right. This is very lightweight. And with God's blessings, we last until 2054 as we're running in the Frozepocalypse. And
God bless. Knock on wood.
Absolutely.
Does that come through? We'll find out.
You know what category I am torn on a little bit?
No, what is it?
I don't know if I give this a little bit of whimsy or not.
Yeah,
I think I do.
You think you give it whimsy?
Yeah.
I think, don't know.
It's maybe it's the novelty for me and being a new prepper. I feel kind of special.
You're excited. Yeah, you're like, oh, look, this is for me.
There's a little bit of whimsy in this for me.
For me, I don't know when the freeze-dried process was invented, but I'm pretty sure it was like in the 20s or something like that. I don't know.
Was it before or after freezing? Are you just making that up, Michael?
I'm not saying that I know. I'm guessing. Let's call it the 20s. Maybe it was the 50s. I don't know. But this is a process that's well established. They're just kind of doing the process. They're doing it in a way, for a specific audience. They're doing it for their hikers. They're for their preppers. But it's not like they're not offering a lot outside of that. And so for me, this is just not giving me a lot of whimsy. It's giving me crunchy granola. It's giving me, utilitarian with a nice package.
I like a nice package.
Yeah, a nice package is nice.
Do you think there's a good freeze-dried birthday cake?
Yeah, I do. I think there is.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. It's my birthday season now.
Yeah. Well, I'll give a look out for this.
We are recording this on the first day of spring.
Indeed. Spring is in the air.
Uh-huh.
And that means Darren's birthday is right around the corner.
Absolutely. And I'm a new prepper.
And you're a prepper. This is the only way to make it special. Maybe if there isn't one, maybe I can figure out a freeze dry cake.
We ready to give this a score?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think we have any other things to talk about.
We've talked everything: taste, texture, package, ease of preparation,
cost,
ingredients, cost, whimsy.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there?
That's it. Unless there's something we're missing yet that some listener can tell us about.
I'm sure they will. Please hit us up with your critiques, your joys, your sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a comment. But yeah, we're ready to rate. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, why don't you go first?
All right. Mountain House. Great Sichuan food. But no, to get back to the topic. I mean, it's hard for me to really get over how good it tastes. And also it brought me back to that memory of hiking all day and then getting one of these. And if you've been hiking all day, anything is really satisfying. So that was like a good memory. The cost is the only thing that really brings it down. I mean, it's got nice whole ingredients. This is the only thing that makes it a little bit more difficult to swallow, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, I think that only takes it down a little bit. I think this does exactly what it's trying to do. It's a light food, light in weight, also kind of light in calories. Maybe that takes another point off.
Yeah, it is.
I want more calories. And they're just putting some water in there. But I think it's very good. To me, it's a 4.
A 4?
A 4.
Wow.
That's
chilled out.
Chilled out. This is chilled out.
That's really good.
I think it is really good. Like I said, I like the textural variance too. I think there's something about that freeze-dried crunch actually kind of does it for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, this is my life now. And and my life is freaking the fuck out of you all out. And it's April Fool's Day, and I am not a prepper, but I was still blown away by this being so much better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I'm never going to buy this again.
It's hard to imagine a case where you would. Except for now, I do actually believe you're going to go back to REI.
I may go back to REI. I was so really impressed with them as a company. I might.
Yeah.
And I'm open to the hiking.
Okay. I'm glad you're open to it.
And the camping and the overnight, not so much. I expected this to be some just dusty mush in a bag.
Yeah.
This was better than some things that you get in the freezer section.
Absolutely.
That are actually frozen.
Yeah.
It really was. I expected trash. The cost is an issue. Taste and texture were really good. So easy to prepare.
Yep.
Easy to carry around if that's what you're looking for. I suppose if we were truly preppers, that would be the other category we include. How easy is it to just run with this?
Yeah. And pretty easy. I guess they get a little voluminous, Yeah. If you're looking for something a little more calorie dense, this is not it. But
yeah.
But it is tastier than eating a handful of beef jerky.
I did not expect to like this at all. Before opening this package, I was thinking we're going for a 1, maybe, or a 2 here. We hit 3. I might have given it a 3.5. For me, for the novelty, this gets a half point of whimsy.
Wow.
And I am going to hold Mike's hand and give this a 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a 4-forker. I mean...
A 4-forker? Okay.
4-cuber.
4 cubes. 4 ice cubes.
Cut that out. Welcome to the 4-cuber.
The 4-cuber. All right. We do have something we alluded to a little bit before also. We have some freeze-dried ice cream like the astronauts eat.
Wow. Everyone's childhood favorite. Space ice cream.
So we'll take a little break and we'll be back with that.
We'll be back. And we're back.
We are back, and I am not a prepper, but we have more freeze-dried food.
Oh, thank God.
It's April Fool's Day, so we switched from frozen to freeze-dried. And this is something that I don't know if a lot, but people have gotten visiting the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian.
Indeed.
Maybe.
Good memories, a lot of good memories.
Yeah, that's where I first had it.
Yeah. Same with me, I'm pretty sure.
It is freeze-dried ice cream. We have an ice cream sandwich.
It's commonly marketed as space ice cream.
Space ice cream. It had, I don't have the package in front of me right now. It had astronaut on it. It had an astronaut and the word astronaut on it. It is a Neapolitan chocolate vanilla strawberry.
Did you know that these are falsely advertised?
No.
Astronauts do not eat this.
They don't?
No. I think they do dehydrate a lot of their food, but they don't freeze dry it because it makes it crumbly in texture. So if they were to eat it in the space station or on a space shuttle, it would cause a lot of particles, which would get in the air filtration system.
Fly around. Yeah.
So it's a problem.
See, now this is the only previous experience I have had with freeze-dried food. So I expected everything to just be dusty and dry.
Yeah.
Like this, which is why the chili with mac and beans, whatever it's called.
Yeah. And cheese.
There was no cheese.
Oh, right. No cheese.
This is such a good experience.
I mean, we could pour boiling water on this for 9 minutes and see what happens.
I don't know what it would do.
All right.
We have cut this in half in such a way that I have chocolate and vanilla.
And I have vanilla and strawberry.
Yeah. I have a little bit of an allergic reaction and like skin reaction to strawberry. I do not believe that this is real strawberry.
It's probably not, but let's just, we're being safe. We're being cautious.
We're going to eat this as we're recording. So pre-apologies for anything you may hear.
You're going to hear a lot of crunching. I think my microphone picked that up a little bit.
I'm getting almost a slight strawberry taste from my half.
Maybe it migrated.
Maybe.
I just had the vanilla part.
I started with the vanilla part in the center. It's not good. It's not.
I disagree. I think it's very good.
You think so?
Yeah. There are some, what is that, like honeycomb candy? I think it's a Cadbury thing, but it kind of reminds me of that. You've got your chocolate, you've got your vanilla. It's got all the things there. It is like a normal candy would have real chocolate and then like something crunchy inside. So you get some textural variance, and this does not have that, which gives it, makes it a little bit boring from that perspective, but
maybe. Are you getting a flavor difference between your?
I think so. You know what? It's really hard to tell. You get a little creaminess as it kind of like dissolves onto your tongue. The ice cream part dissolves really quickly, right?
I am actually getting a little chocolatiness. If you want some chocolate, I'm willing to.
I'm okay.
Hand this to you, but
actually, I just
put
a little like chunk of the ice cream into my mouth just to let it dissolve, and it just like melts away really quickly. It's kind of nice.
This is not as bad as I remember.
I'm telling you, I feel like it's pretty good. It's like a ice cream cracker.
It kind of is. I don't know how they even do this.
It's a good question. They freeze it and they dry it. What else is there to know?
Who knew freeze drying was so simple? As I do, I'm licking every last crumb from my plate.
You don't have to do that.
But I do. I don't know why. It's a sickness.
Especially for something you don't particularly like.
I may never again buy this in my life.
I guess that's reasonable. Yeah. Your kids are grown. You're not going to the Smithsonian very frequently.
Well, the Smithsonian may be shut down for good.
That's possible. Yeah.
If the opportunity comes up to buy this for a grandkid, I might have it.
That's a good point.
And really enjoy it.
Yeah. But you also might just give it to the kid.
I might.
Kids aren't known for being very sharey.
So if we judge this on a let it go or keep it, bro.
This is a big time keeper for me. I mean, it brings back good memories. I think it still tastes pretty good. I'm into it.
You know what? I'm not going to have this much again, if ever.
But would you keep it in your cabinet until 2054?
I'm not keeping it for myself, but I'm not going to keep it from other people.
Okay. That's a good perspective shift.
Which makes me think, what do we even mean by let it go or keep it, bro?
That's a good point.
I don't like this as much as the previous freeze-dried meal.
Yeah. The other one was a real meal. This is a novelty.
It is a novelty. I don't like it. I don't hate it.
It's not great. It's not bad. It's just not.
Tie goes to the keeper. Keep it, bro.
Okay. Nice. That's good.
We've got pop quiz. Also.
It's pop quiz time.
Pop quiz time. I've got to run and get these, and Mike will talk, or we'll just cut this out.
All right. What to talk about? And we're back.
And we have got a couple of popsicles that I have made. This is a segment we called
Pop Quiz.
Pop Quiz. And I think we also once called it Froze Bros Suck.
I liked Froze Bros Suck.
Because
I think that was a slightly different thing. I think Froze Bros Suck is where we know what it is.
We knew what it was.
Yeah.
We made the popsicles out of the liquid IV.
Yeah. It's all good.
But anyway, we're back here. We've got two popsicles looking a little chocolatey and vanilla. Let's start with the darker one.
Okay.
And I will have these. I made them so I know exactly what this is. Michael has to guess what is in this. Don't.
I'm allowed to smell it.
Don't sniff it. Just put it in your mouth. I know exactly how that sounded as I said it.
I can consume this in whichever way. Also, I can see as it's melting a little bit, it's kind of clear with some sediment in it.
I'm having this with you.
Tastes like teriyaki. Maybe, I think it's like baked beans, maybe.
I don't think there are any beans in here.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like, I feel like it's got that baked bean profile of like molasses and vinegar and... So I'm not sure what else that could be. And it's like savory.
I know what it is, but there are a few flavors in here, and there's one that I'm getting very strongly.
It tastes like teriyaki to me.
You're not off on the Asian flavors.
Okay. Asian flavors. Gotcha. So maybe it's like in, Asian inspired vinaigrette dressing.
I'm going to give that to you. I can't believe that
You're still eating it.
I'm still eating this much of it.
I could see it being addictive.
Now, I don't expect you to get the brand, but maybe the taste. It is a Ken's Steakhouse Asian sesame dressing with ginger and soy.
Wow.
I'm getting the ginger pretty strongly, I think.
Let me try it again.
Knowing that it's in there, do you taste the ginger?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think teriyaki. I mean, I think it's got all of the flavors of teriyaki.
It does. So you were pretty close on that.
It's got a pretty ginger forward flavor.
We've done this before, and I think the first time I gave you like an orange mango peach juice, and then an icy or frosty Gatorade. So both drinks before. So this is the first time I've fucked around with
gone rogue a bit.
Yeah. So
and you've done two.
Happy April Fool's Day.
Yeah, good times.
Asian sesame dressing with ginger and soy. Not as bad as I expected, but I'm not going to finish this.
Yeah, I'm not going to finish, but it's not.
I'm having a couple more licks before I stop, though. All right, you ready to try the other one?
I guess so. I feel like it looks like frozen blended banana.
Again, don't snicker.
All I can smell is the other one.
The other one is much stronger. Actually, I want to say about the other one.
It's savory again.
It was the dressing. It was my second attempt. The first time by putting just the dressing in the popsicle mold, it did not freeze.
Okay.
So this was half water, half dressing.
Nice technique.
Yeah. The second one is a spring flavor.
A spring flavor.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you listening, it's white in color. Like I said, I felt
it's
like
white.
It's
not exactly white.
Not perfectly white. I thought it was banana, so it's got a little bit darker. Yeah, but it doesn't taste like banana. It's a savory flavor. You know, the flavor, I feel like I recognize it.
I'm eating this with you. We each have our own popsicles, but I don't like this.
It's even more kind of disorienting than the previous one.
More disorienting than Asian sesame dressing.
Yeah. I do recognize the flavor, but I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it.
All right. What if I told you spring vegetable?
Spring vegetable. I mean, that makes me think tomato.
It's clearly not tomato in color. Tomato's a summer vegetable.
It tastes like baby corn. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's not baby corn. Do you want another clue?
Yeah.
You may smell this later when you pee.
What is it? White asparagus?
It is cream of asparagus soup.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking. I never would have guessed that. All right, but that was tricky.
This is Campbell's cream of asparagus soup.
Oh, okay.
I
do like Campbell's stuff.
It is made not with... Campbell suggests you mix their can with a can of milk. This is just with a can of water because I wanted it to freeze better. So this is cream of asparagus soup mixed with water. I'm almost liking this a little bit.
It's growing on you. I mean, it's not terrible. And it really makes you think about what a frozen treat is. But, you know, a lot of people like gazpacho. I mean, this is kind of in that vein.
It does taste, if I didn't know, I would guess peas also.
Sure.
That it tastes a little bit like peas, which can also be a spring vegetable. But we will see if we smell this later.
Indeed. Yeah, I wouldn't guess peas. I still think baby corn was a good guess in terms of the flavors that I'm getting. But yeah. I'm going to give up on eating both of these, I think.
Yeah, no.
Darren's still going to town on this popsicle.
I kind of like the asparagus popsicle.
Maybe you like savory popsicles. Maybe you should make savory popsicles a thing.
Should I make some meat pops?
No. I mean, you know, you could do a tomato. I like the ginger one. I think that's fun. But yeah, make it not sweet, you know, make a savory pop.
All
right. Well, that was pop quiz. I think that was a 1 and a 1. You know, I pretty much got one, pretty much didn't get the other one.
Yeah. I thought the asparagus would not be too hard to get.
It doesn't taste strongly of asparagus to me.
I taste it pretty clearly, either asparagus or pea. And not that kind of pea.
What do you mean? I don't taste pea. I don't taste asparagus. I do enjoy that you tried something new, and
I thought it was time to try something
challenging.
Weird.
Yeah,
good April Fool's.
I feel
segment
fooled. So when I looked at it, because you have a brown and a white, I was like, I thought it was. Honestly, because it's a little darker in color, like the white's not a white, like it's not a vanilla white. I thought it was like, oh, well, this is like chocolate and banana. But no.
It is a little bit of banana color. The Campbell's cream of asparagus soup actually has some chunks of asparagus in it. I ran this through a blender to chop up those pieces of asparagus also.
Actually, wouldn't mind trying that soup. From what I know so far, seems like it might be pretty good.
I like the taste. I like the taste of both of these. I'm not sure I like it in a popsicle.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to.
Mm-hmm. So we've come to the end of another episode.
Another episode in the bank. Thank you to Substrates.
Yes.
Find them at substrates.bandcamp.com.
Thank you, Mike, for coming back from the frozen dead.
You know what? I do what I can.
So appreciative to have you back here with us.
Let's get cray.
All right.
Find us on our socials.
On our website at thefrozebros.com. Look us up at The Froze Bros at Facebook, _Froze_Bros at Instagram and TikTok. We do some videos once in a while. I can get Mike out occasionally to make a video with me. Check us out every couple of weeks for a new episode.
And with that,
fro you later. That is so much better than when Max is here. A bro's gotta go when a bro's gotta go.